goes on. Check one, check. All right. I'm hearing you. Say something over there, my man.
Mic check, mic check. This is Anthony Abron. Am I coming through loud and clear?
Well, I don't know yet, man, because we're just kind of getting started. You know, sometimes when you're live like this and you're like behind the scenes and you're trying to make sure you got everything operating the way it should be, sometimes things don't go the way you want them to go, my man. Have you ever found yourself in that situation where you thought everything's going to work out perfectly? And I did that the other day. I actually was talking and nobody could hear me.
Happens all the time. That's why I had to do those test runs to make sure that my microphone is coming in loud and clear, you know?
Oh, absolutely. Now, where are you these days, by the way? Where are you these days?
I'm in the great state of Texas.
Oh, okay.
Austin, Texas, in the capital to be exact. So that's where I'm at, man.
Now, are you actually, I know we'll be live in a few minutes, but are you actually from Austin, Texas?
No, I'm actually from Houston, which is about 165 miles or roughly 2.5 hours southeast of here. So that's where I'm from.
Ah, okay. Well, you know, you're going to find we have folks here from Texas, from all over the world, by the way. So it's going to be great in just a moment. Let me head over to my page, man. I just want to check to see if we're even live, because again, I think they're taking me live. It looks like in about a second here, man. Let me look here. See, check one, check two, check three as we get ready to get going out there. You know, you mentioned a restaurant that you want to try when you come to town. What restaurant was that again? I want to write that down because I think we've been there. But what was the restaurant?
Whiskey Cakes.
I like that.
And Whiskey Cakes is good, and the whiskey cake is to die for. I mean, you literally slap your mama. Don't slap your mama. It's just a figure of speech, all right, Shay? I know you're not from Texas.
Nah, not from Texas, but whiskey cake is so wonderful, man. I love that food. I've been there one time. It was awesome, delicious over at La Cantara Mall. You're going to love it for anybody in San Antonio. Shout out to the San Antonio restaurants. And, of course, Austin, Texas, when I come to Austin, Texas. I can't wait. I was talking to someone just yesterday, man, who knew who you were. Oh, my gosh, I can't think who the person was just yesterday. And she's in Austin, Texas. That's how small the world is. No, someone other than Leanne. I think it was Brenda. I'm going to pull her name up. She said, I know Anthony Abron. She was just so excited. Anyway. For those folks that are out there, Dave Anderson is out there watching. Lynette Edwards is out there right now. Connect Thigpen. Do me a favor. Look right below the video. We're ready to kick off. We've got a great lineup today. We want to make sure you can hear. So look right below to say, hey, Shay, or hey, Anthony, we can hear you. And that's the bat signal that you can hear us if you can do that. Connect said she loves dessert, so. Does that mean we can be heard? That's the question. Anthony, do a mic check over there, my man.
Mic check, 1 2 1 3. Can you hear me loud and clear? If you can hear me loud and clear, type in the comments, I hear you, Big A.
Why you gotta be Big A? Can't I be Big C? I like that. I hear you, Big A. You come on the show with your own handle. What's up with that, my man? What's up with that?
I gotta adapt, Shay. I mean, hey, I've been typing in the comments for weeks, you know, so now I'm here.
Man, you are here. You're live. What's up, Kat? Katisha Batista's watching. What's going on? Daryl Mack. All right, with that being said, I believe they can hear us now, so we're going to go live in 5. They give me the countdown. Okay, they told me I got to stop saying 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, I'll be quiet. We'll get ready to get started, everyone. In 3, 2, 1.
Go ahead and give a big standing ovation for the one and the only Shay Brown.
Every morning in Africa, a gazelle wakes up and it knows it must outrun the fastest lion or be killed and eaten. Also, every morning in Africa, a lion wakes up and knows it must outrun the slowest gazelle or it will starve to death. You've heard it before. It doesn't matter whether you're a lion or a gazelle. When the sun comes up, you better be what? You better be running. That's right. You better be running.
Check one, check.
Life is about meaning, and meaning is about service. Isn't that the reason why we're all here? Isn't that what we're all searching for? 2013, the Peak Performance Institute was created. 5,000 clients who we've helped turn their idea into a reality, their reality into a business, their business into a movement, impacting 5.7 million lives around the world. Imagine that! My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Network, the world's largest organization for the well-being of an entrepreneur. And as we always say, our mission at the Happy Entrepreneur Network, our mission is to inspire, empower, and provide resources for the entrepreneur to live a balanced life and execute their vision for the people they were called to serve. And our mantra, I love our belief. Everyone should have a belief statement. Our belief is the results that show up in your life are just as important as the results that show up in your bank account. With that being said, let's get started. Let's get started with It's a Great Day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome everyone. Welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue focused late night show in the country. And I'm so excited to be here with you, and for one reason and one reason only, because we believe that the results that show up in your life are just as important as the results that show up in your bank account. So this morning, this evening, this afternoon, wherever you are, you're going to have a conversation with that gentleman right there, none other than the Anthony Abrams, and we'll be talking about fashion. You see, the brother came dappered up, by the way. I got to talk to him about that. Can I get something like that, Anthony? Can I get something like that or what?
All day long, Shay. All day long. I got you covered, brother. I got you covered.
I mean, I used to love wearing my Marvel comic T-shirts. They told me I can't do that anymore, man. But I'm like,
no,
God,
you got to step your game up, doctor. Step your game up a little bit.
Hey, man, I got
a little bit.
I got flip flops on, man. I enjoy wearing flip flops. I don't care what these guys say, man. I enjoy it. But you look super cool over there, by the way. I want to give a shout out to those folks that are joining in. We got Nicole Brown Hurston. Thanks a lot for joining. We got Tony Moore. Tony Moore is just super fantastic. She's out of Philadelphia. She's the legal chick. Look, if you are a business owner and you need to make sure your business starts right, goes right, and ends right, make sure you connect with none other than the Tony Moore. For those folks that are joining right now, for those folks that are listening right now, welcome. Anthony, I know you said you're over in Austin, Texas. I know we have an incredible lineup, but why don't you say hello to everyone that's watching right now and welcome them to the Happy Entrepreneur Show.
Hello, people! Hi! Welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show. All the way from the great state of Texas, I am alongside of the man himself, Mr. Shay Brown, and I'm excited to be here. Thank each and every one of you for being here. That's what I have to say today. Good day, good day. Now back to you, Mr. Shay.
I did not know he was going to do that, by the way. I just asked the guy to say hello. That's all I asked him to do was say hello. And was that a hello all the way from Texas? Was that a big Texas thing? Does Anthony, the fluent man, does he do it big or what? You got to give him a shout out there, by the way. What's going on, Tashika Pendleton? Thanks a lot, by the way. Nicole Brown Hurston said, all right now, Anthony. Tony Moore said, Anthony, I see you.
Love it. Yes.
man, where'd that big bellow energy go, man? We got a show tonight, but where'd that energy come from, man? What was that big hello to the Happy Entrepreneur Tribe? I know you've been on the other side, but you got Thomas Christopher Jackson who's watching by saying, yeah, baby. Talk to me, Anthony. Where'd that big hello come from, man?
You know what? Honestly, to be honest with you, it came initially. I can't take credit for it. It was my mentor. My mentor, he would just always come in with full of energy and life. And every time he pick up the telephone and call me and whatnot, he just hit me like, blah. It became contagious. Mm-hmm. So it's like, if something's good, you take it and you share it. The biggest compliment is what? Imitation, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm not necessarily imitating, but I'm definitely taking that energy that came from them. It sparked the plug in me. And I realized that you just gotta ignite yourself, because if you don't ignite yourself, you can't expect somebody saying, hey, here's my candle, light it for me. No, I light my own fire.
I like that. I light my own fire. You got to light your own fire. For those folks that are out there right now, and you know that deep down inside, you got that switch, you got the gasoline, you got the rocket fuel. Just look right below the video. Look right below the video and write these words: light my own fire. Hashtag the affluent man. I like that. I like that. I want you to write those words right now. And don't do it for me. Don't do it for me, by the way. And don't do it for Anthony. Don't do it for Anthony. Do it for yourself. Now, he'll talk about the affluent man and what it represents and so forth. But I want you to write this down right now. Light my own fire. That means the fire that's inside of you that burns. You know, I love what they say. Talk about having that burning desire. Napoleon Hill said the man or woman with a burning desire to do what they want to do will find a way. But in order to get that burning desire, that means something's burning on the inside, you've got to what? Light my own fire. Look right below the video. Look right below the video and write those words. Light my own fire. Hashtag the affluent man. Anthony, where did that phrase come to? Talk a little bit so the folks kind of understand what light my own fire means. You got Tony Moore out there. Tony Moore is up, by the way. She's interesting. Tony, I love you. Mwah. I owe you a call, but I still love you. Mwah. She's so fantastic. She put light my own fire. What does that mean? When you're saying that, what do you want people to feel? What do you want them to think? And then what do you want them to do? Let me say it again. What do you want them to feel? And then what do you want them to hear? And then what do you want them to do? Over to you, my good man, Anthony. What's up, Letitia Campbell? Thanks for joining. You're here. You're at the right place at the right time with the right guy, the affluent man, none other than Anthony Abron, who will be talking not only about fashion, not only about faith, not only about family, not only about fitness, but also about finances, by the way. Martina Smith says, what's up? She's out there. Maloney Washington is in the house. I see you. Albert Walker says he's there. Dr. Shayna Lewis. Look, Anthony, I know you're going to talk about light my own fire. You got to meet Dr. Shayna Lewis. Amazing individual. She's in Houston, by the way. Have you met her? She's in Houston and you're in Austin. Y'all have got to connect. Y'all have got to connect, by the way. You've got to do that. All right, man. Talk about light my own fire. Thomas Christopher Jackson, I see. He said, hashtag light my own fire. Malika said, hey, Shay. Hi. Hashtag the affluent man. Talk to him about light my own fire, my brother.
Light my own fire is just exactly what it says. Okay. Light, what I want them to feel. I want you to feel the fire. Kind of like that old song, Feel Me. I'm dating myself right there, but I want you to light you want to feel that energy. All right. You know that when you light your own fire, what I want you to feel is feel explosive. Feel that spark. You know, you ever seen a can of gasoline, right? You want to keep that gasoline away from anything with a spark, right?
Ah, yes.
So you want to be that spark. You want to feel that danger of exploding inside. That's what I want you to feel. And then when you light your own fire, get up, look at yourself in the mirror and say, I am, finish the sentence. I am, finish the sentence. I am great. I am powerful. I am strong. I am bold. I am the man. I am the woman. I am the affluent man. I am the happy entrepreneur. I am better than I was yesterday. I am continuing on one step at a time. I am, period. That's what you are. That's what I want you to feel. That's what I want you to know. When you step into this world, when you step into life, when those obstacles come, let them know. Guaranteed, the person on the other side that sees it, they're either going to do one or two things. Either they're going to shrink or they're going to step up. And you want to be the one that sets the temperature in the room. Feel the fire. Light your own fire.
God, I love that. Feel the fire. Light your own fire. Talk to me out there. Dr. Shayna Lewis says, I am extraordinary. Now, he's asked you to put the I am phrase behind that. Kim Lennox is out there, says, light my own fire. Hashtag the affluent man. Maloney, I see you. She says, hey, what's going on, by the way? Letitia Campbell said, that's right. That's right. That's right. I see you out there as you listen. What's up, Kevin Times? Thanks a lot for joining, by the way. Nancy Alert, thanks a lot for joining. Look, Anthony, I know we're going to talk about fashion, faith, family, fitness, and finances. We're going to talk about that. But before I get started, there's one of my favorite segments to do. And the segment is doing what you just said, which is how do we help other entrepreneurs light their own fire? And how do we encourage them when that fire has gone down? What's up, Tina Holloman? Good to see you. What's up, Angela Anderson? Thanks for joining. And so, Anthony, we do something called the Champions Creed. And for those that are joining and listening for the first time, the Champions Creed is an opportunity for us to encourage, for us to inspire, for us just to pat someone else on the other back. And we don't write the affirmation for ourselves. We write the affirmation for someone else. And I'm going to let Anthony give the affirmation, the I am affirmation. I'm going to go ahead and put up here in a moment, Anthony. I want to make sure you can see it, the Champions Creed. Let me make sure you can see this. I'm going to put up here the Champions Creed. I'm going to read it, and then you're going to read it, Anthony. What's up, Darlene? And then, Anthony, I want you to give them the affirmation. I am on fire, or I am amazing. Whatever you want to have after the I am phase, we're going to allow you to do that. So let me read the Champions Creed. For those folks that are doing it, I'm going to read it now, and then you follow along. The Happy Entrepreneur. The Champions Creed. I am not judged by the number of times I fail, because I am amazing and I have failed, but by the number of times I succeed, because I am awesome. I am incredible. I am extraordinary. I'm adding that on there. And the number of times I succeed is in direct proportion to the number of times I can fail and keep trying and keep trying and keep trying. Anthony, Abron, the fluid man, is they're out there right now. And I'm going to ask you to read that back. What's up, Loretta? I want everyone to look right below the video. Look right below the video. And I want you to write these words for another entrepreneur. I want you to put, I am, and Anthony, finish that. What do you want to tell another entrepreneur? I am what?
I am amazing.
Okay.
I am bold.
So here's what we want you to put.
What we want? We want one thing, right?
One thing.
I am on fire.
Okay, so I want you to do this. This is not for you. This is to pay it forward. This is to bless another entrepreneur that's doing really, really well, but got a lot of stress on him right now. This is for the family man, the family woman, or the single mom, or the single dad that got a lot of pressure on, but they're entrepreneur. This is for the person that has a big dream deep down inside, but they're like, you don't understand what I'm going through right now. What I want you to write below that video, you look right below the video, I want you to put, I am on fire. Hashtag the affluent man. I am on fire. Hashtag the affluent man. So you look right below the video, Cheryl. Look right below the video, Gina Hall. And don't do it for me. Don't do it for Anthony. But as a happy entrepreneur tribe, people love going in. I got a call from someone today, and they went back and read that I am amazing from yesterday. And they said, Shay, I need to hear those words right now. They didn't even hear them. They read the words because they went back and read these comments. So these comments often go viral. And we believe in the giver's economy. The person that outgives the competition out-earns the competition. The person that outgives the competition out-earns the competition. So look right below the video and put, I am on fire. Put that down right now. Look right below the video and you do that. And Anthony, as they do that, I'm going to ask you to read the Champions Creed, man. If you don't mind, I'm going to put it up and I'm going to ask you to read it when I put it up. And then when you finish reading it, Anthony, if you don't mind, I want you to, okay, they're going to read how amazing you are, Anthony. Don't worry about that. And they're going to go online and see how great you are. But do you mind taking a moment and talking about a setback, maybe a challenge that you had, and you had to find that fire inside of you, and tell us the lesson that you learned that we can take away? Do you mind doing that? And this is for everybody out there listening, like Gina Hall, who put I am on fire, like Cheryl, who put I am on fire, like Yolanda, who just put I am a conqueror. Do you mind doing that? Can you do that for us, Anthony?
Absolutely, I can do that.
Fantastic. Let me go ahead and put it up. As Anthony reads this, I want you all to read it with Anthony. Melody Washington, I see. She says, I am on fire. Look, trust me. This is your time. This is your moment. And Anthony is the right man for you to give you this message right now. Kim Lennox says, I'm on fire. Tashika says, I am on fire. And they're putting the fire little thing down there. Those are for the overachievers. They use the little icon right below. Thank you so much. I love this segment. From my heart, I love it because it helps someone else. All right, Anthony, let me put this up there. I've gone on. Let me put this up there so you can read it. Go ahead and read that. See you, Kevin. I am on fire. Go ahead and take it away, man.
Okay. Now, the first thing I want you to do with this, I'm gonna add a little twist, Shay, just a slight twist.
Of course.
I'm gonna ask that everyone personalize this, that to whatever your why is, whoever that person is, that's your why. When you say this Champions Creed, say it either to yourself or say it to that person. For me, as I say this, I'm saying this Champions Creed to my son Wesley. And I want him to know this when I read it. So whoever that person is, I want you to say it to them and then read this. Bring it back up and so we can light it up.
You ready? Okay.
Wesley, I am not judged by the number of times I fail, but by the number of times I succeed. And the number of times I succeed is in direct proportion to the number of times I can fail and keep trying. Hashtag the happy entrepreneur. Hashtag I am on fire. Hashtag the affluent man. Take it away, Shay.
Hashtag I'm on fire. Hashtag the influent man. Hashtag this is your moment. This is your time. Let me go ahead and acknowledge. And Anthony, when I come back, I want you to go ahead and share. This is that moment, the Champions Creed, a time where you had a setback, a lesson you learned, so you had to find that fire inside of you. But first, Anthony, let me go ahead and acknowledge Gina Brown, who's watching. Let me acknowledge William Byners and say hello to William Byners. Let me say hello to Lonnie Grant. Thanks a lot. Let me say hello to Kevin Sam that says I am on fire. Let me say hello to Albert Watkins that says I am on fire. Gina Hall says I am on fire. Chantel Michelle Jackson, thanks for joining. Anthony Abrams, I am on fire. A time you've had a setback, a challenge, and what was the lesson you learned that we all can walk away with?
You know, it's funny when you say that, when I think about the time that I had a setback, because I thought before in my life that I had a setback, but I didn't realize that I hadn't really truly hit it yet. And to summarize quickly, I had an unexpected divorce. And I watched my family unexpectedly dissolve right before my face. And you go from a place where when you go home and you sit on the couch and that's where all your love is at. When everyone cuddles around you, you feel like you're a big tree, kind of like this tree that's behind me, the tree of life. I felt like that tree. And all of a sudden, when that was ripped apart from me, I felt my trees, my limbs, and I felt myself get to the point where, how do I continue to move on? How do I continue to pick up the pieces when everything has been broken? It was in that moment that I realized, at a point of near destruction, that I had to hold on. I had to keep breathing. I had to keep walking. I had to, in fact, light my own fire. I had to appeal to a higher power because I realized I couldn't do it alone. So when I did that, and I tapped into that fire, into that source, all of a sudden, and I continued to walk. That's when I began to see things happen. Let's be clear. It didn't happen overnight. It wasn't easy. It was absolutely painful. But the thing that I learned from it is I had to take a clear look at myself. I had to look at myself and say, you know what? Forget all the filth, the floor and filth and this and that and the finger pointing. What can I do? And that's when I realized I had to love myself. I had to love myself. And once I began to understand loving myself and the beauty that's inside of that, well, heck, the next step was to speak it into existence and start speaking, because there's power in our tongue. There's power, and begin to write it down. So I began to do those things. And that great lesson inside of me was I realized that, you know what, there's a deeper strength. There's a deeper strength. And it's like, if you've ever seen an acorn, right? Big, pretty acorn. They always have them in cartoons and whatnot. But that acorn is nothing, does not tell you anything about the power that's inside of that acorn. It's not until that acorn is buried deep inside the soil, covered up in darkness, right? And you think that it's quote unquote buried. But it's not buried, it's planted. And that's the thing that I realized, that, hey, I was not buried, I was planted, because there was greater inside of me that had to be birthed. Just like inside of you guys that are watching right now, there's greater inside of you that has to be birthed. And many of you can relate, and some of you have walked through it, walking through it, will walk through it. I'm letting you know right now, you can make it.
Wow, you can make it. Look, I didn't know Anthony was going to say that. I didn't know he's going to be that authentic. I didn't know he's going to be that open. But Anthony, I certainly appreciate it. I could feel it in your heart. I've been there. Thank you for sharing the lesson and what you learned by that. For those folks that are watching, like Oren Checkmate Hudson, for Tashika Pigo, who's watching right now, for Kim, who's watching right now, do me a favor. I love how you framed that conversation. You framed the narrative for us, Anthony. You said, look, I say this for my son. Yeah, I'm on fire, but I'm on fire for my son. Someone wrote, I'm on fire for my family. Someone said, I'm on fire for my nephew. Someone said, I'm on fire for my husband. Do me a favor. Look right below that video. Look right below that video and just write this affirmation. I am on fire for blank. Now, if you want to do the remix version and you say, Shay, I just want to inspire someone else, just put you are on fire at, I don't know, Shay Brown or at whomever you want to tag. Just put you are on fire. They might even think they're on fire right now. They might be sitting there saying, yeah, I'm okay, but just that pat on the back, just that little bit of encouragement, just that little piece from someone else. And when is the last time someone just sent you a message and said, you are on fire? So here's what I'm going to do. Anthony, with your permission, I'm going to ask them to share this video. Is that okay? I know you're going to be doing some teaching later. Can they go and hit the share button? And when you hit that share button, here's what I want you to put. You are on fire. Just put you are on fire. Just put that right now. Someone's going to see that. And then I want you to look right below the video. Look right below like Michael Muse, who's watching right now. And Michael Muse put, I am on fire for my parents. Michael, we feel you. Gina put, you can make it in all caps. I feel you. You got Dana Marie Peck. Her husband is Kevin Peck. Fantastic. She's better than her husband, by the way. Dana, you are amazing. You make Kevin who he is. But I see you. She's out there watching right now. And you got Cheryl Diane who put, I am on fire for my future. This is very powerful because it's possible. You know, one of the things we believe here at the Happy Entrepreneur Network is we believe one thing. It's one of our mantras that we shared, and we shared it when we first got started, but it's so important, is that we believe that the results that show up in your life are just as important as the results that show up in your bank account. So when Evangelist Doris Williams says fire, I said fire. When Nancy Alert says I'm on fire for my family. When Melody Washington says I'm on fire for Terry Williams. When they say that, when you hear those words and you see those words, they're not just saying it for themselves, but they're saying it for someone else. And isn't that important? Isn't that what life is really all about at the end of the day? Isn't it about encouraging and inspiring someone else? Anthony, I'm excited, man. You're here. We're gonna go to a commercial. When Anthony comes back, Anthony's gonna break it down. We're gonna talk about fashion. You see the guys all decked out. I'm asking him, can he do something for me? Faith, family, fitness, and finances. And for those folks that are like, Shay, I need a fresh start. We're going to talk about how today is your January 1st. We're going to do that. And I'm going to ask Anthony when I come back, what does January 1st look like? What does it mean? And why is it important to do that? But first, I want to go over to Dr. Kenneth Thigpen, who's on fire. And she said it's time to push not to your limit, but to push through your limit. We'll be right back, Anthony, in just a moment, man. I'm looking forward to it. You're watching the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue focused late night show in the country. And I'm here with none other than the one and the only Anthony Abron, hashtag the affluent man. We'll see you in a moment.
Hello, it's your girl, Dr. Kenneth Thigpen, also known as Dr. K, founder of Rise Women's Network. And Rise Women's Network is pleased to present to you hashtag Next Sister Up. I'm here with you today in the Happy Entrepreneurs Tribe, and today is my January 1st. Here's your thought of the week. Push it past the limit. Push it past the limit. Now, we're historically used to hearing people say, push it to the limit. But when you push it to the limit, you're keeping yourself from reaching your dreams and your goals. Here's the thing. I like to go to the gym, and I have a goal of getting lean and getting toned. But I've been doing the same workout for eons. I have a workout called Keep It 100. So no matter what exercise I do 100 reps. But I've been using the same weights forever. And I wonder why I'm not seeing progress or results as I push myself to my limit. You see, when you push yourself to the limit, you're doing the things that you know you can do. When you push yourself to the limit, you're gonna see little to no progress. When you keep yourself in the confines of your limit, you're keeping yourself in your comfort zone. Now in business, I challenge us to push ourselves past the limit. So yes, that might mean getting up 30 minutes earlier to do something. That might mean staying up 30 minutes later to get something completed. That might mean investing in a coach. That might mean asking questions, updating your strategic plan. It means you have to do something different to get different results. Push yourself past the limit. So I challenge you this week, push yourself past the limit, not to the limit. My name's Dr. K. Make it a great day.
Make it a great day. My name is Dr. K. Push it past the limit. Push it past the limit. You know, one of the things that Anthony Abrams is doing right now is he's also following the comments. And Anthony, if you look right below the video, can you see the comments on the page? Can you read what Venus just wrote? Can you read what Gina wrote? Can you read some of the comments of folks who made comments below? And look, this is a shout out to all the digital note takers. You bless someone else when you put your digital notes on that digital board. And we appreciate it. We love every single one who do it. Anthony, can you announce some of the folks who are writing those comments now, right now? And Anthony, you are on mute, by the way. So there you go.
Okay, absolutely. New toy. All right. Hey, first of all, huge shout out to Nancy Alert. She says, you are on fire, Shanetta Malika. We got Malika Courtney. I'm on fire for my peoples. Jay. We got Tina Y. Holman. I'm on fire for my son. We've got hashtag Next Sister Up. We got Kim Lennox, hashtag Next Sister Up. Gina Hall, push it past the limit. We've got Venus, hashtag Next Sister Up. Venus Patient Account Detective Senior. Dr. K Love. We've got so many other people. Lee Wilson, yes, push it past the limit. Thank you guys for showing up and being digital note takers.
And you might be wondering why we ask you to make those comments below, because it encourages and inspires someone else. We have folks that are listening to the podcast, folks that are listening to a conference call right now, folks that go back and listen to the replay, this is being syndicated out to so many other folks. And every time you make a comment, every time you make a note, every time you say what's on your heart, the Happy Entrepreneur Show is not about just talking heads, just people talking. We like to be part of a community. We like to love on each other. We like to hug on each other. We like to be a part of each other. And so we want to acknowledge every single one of you who right now, like Maloney Washington, who just put, I'm on fire for my baby boy. I'm on fire for my family. That's a positive affirmation for you and everyone that's watching. Now, here's one of my favorite segments. And this is why I like Anthony saying that he started with I'm on fire. I love how he started with the energy, because this is important. One of my favorite segments, and then we're going to get into some good stuff. Don't worry, we're going to dive all into Anthony. I can't wait. But one of my favorite segments is really a segment called Today is My January 1st. And the reason that's so important is that when some of you wrote the words I'm on fire, when some of you wrote the words I am amazing, or I am incredible, or I am fierce, or I am bold, there's a little voice saying, not today, you're not. You haven't always been this way. Sounds good now, doesn't it? But I'll be here when that video goes off. I'll be here when you cut off that broadcast right now. But I want you to know that you can start on any given day. You remember where you were. And that's why I was like, today is my January 1st, because it's an opportunity for us to step back and remember where we were back on December 31st and how excited we are. It was a new year. It was going to be a new opportunity. And we were telling ourselves, you know what? We woke up the next day, and what did we first thing we tell ourselves? We woke up, today is my January 1st. I'm going to the gym. Today is my January 1st. I'm starting my new diet. Today is my January 1st. I'm going to get all organized and put my to-do list. Today is my January 1st. Oh, I got to tell my wife I love her. Oh, I got to tell my son I love him. Oh. Don't. I got to call the person I care about the most. Today is my January 1st. I'm going after new contracts. I'm a new business person. In fact, I got a new outfit. Yeah. But here's what I want you to know. That any day that you wake up, any moment in time, you can tell yourself that affirmation that today is my January 1st, and you can ignite that fire inside of you. You can ignite that energy inside of you, because your mind doesn't know what's real and what isn't real. And you can have that energy, and then you can take that action. So here's what I want you to do during this segment. I want you to do what some people are already starting ahead of me, but here's what I want you to do. I love it. I want you to look right below the video, and I want you to write these words, that today is my January 1st. I'm on fire. Today is my January 1st. I am amazing. Today is my January 1st. I'm going to bless someone else. Today is my January 1st. I'm going after new clients. Today is my January 1st. I'm going to spend more time doing the things that I love to do. Today is my January 1st. Today is my January 1st. And you're right. Any day you show up on the show, and I will always do this segment until they take me off the air, because I believe that on any given day, from the bottom of my heart, I believe your past doesn't equal your future. And tomorrow, the future, by definition, doesn't exist. The future is imaginary. You never get to the future. You're always in the present moment. So in this present moment, we're going to tell ourselves that today is our January 1st. Happy New Year to everyone who's watching. And I'm going to go over to Anthony. And I'm going to ask Anthony, when you hear those words, today is my January 1st, what do you hear? And what actions are you going to take? And I want you to speak to the folks out there right now. They're saying, you know what? I got to be like the zone diet. I love the zone diet. I'm going to ask Anthony first to read some of the comments. Some of you who are writing today is my January 1st. I'm going to ask Anthony to go right now. He's going to get his phone. He's going to look right below that video and he's going to read. He's going to say today is my January 1st. And he's going to announce your name right now. When he does, that's a declaration. Why do I say the zone diet? Shay, why did you say the zone diet? Well, the zone diet has a mantra that I love. The zone diet's mantra is, and I've never done the zone diet, but I like it. It says this: I'm one meal from being back on track again. No matter what I just ate, I'm one meal from being back on track again. And what I want you to tell yourself, I'm one affirmation from being back on track again. Today is my January 1st. Anthony, look right below the video. Read some of those folks who are writing today is my January 1st. And when you finish doing that, talk to them about what it means when it's your January 1st and the type of mindset and belief system and then the actions you got to take. Take it away, Anthony.
Absolutely. So right now we got Gina Hall. Today is my January 1st. We got Cheryl Dinan. Today is my January 1st. Kim Lennox is coming in. Today is my January 1st. Nicole Brown Horston. Your January 1st can be any given day you decide to do something different. Love it. Tina, today is my January 1st. We've got Kenneth Thigpen. Today is my January 1st. Fantastic individual. All right, we got Malika coming in there. We've got Thomas Christopher Jackson. Good to see you, sir, brother. Today is my today. Hey, today's your January 1st. All right. And we got Melanie Washington. Today is my January 1st. I am winning. And on that note, great segue, Melanie, because you're winning. Because my January 1st means exactly that. I've got breath. It's like a new present. Your present. Remember, the past is gone. It can't be repeated. The future is just tomorrow is just that. It's the future. So you have that gift of presence that you have. So that's what January 1st means. It means that no matter what, as long as I'm breathing, there's an opportunity to win. There's an opportunity to shift the game. No matter what doubters may say about you, no matter what pitfalls you may have come across, failures you may have had, you have the opportunity to begin again. Or better yet, let's re-engineer that thought process. All right, to continue on. You know, hey, we grew up in the computer age, right? You ever had a Sega or a PlayStation? My son loved this game, Fortnite. All right, Fortnite. Whenever they get killed, all of a sudden he says, "No, Dad, I'm not dead. I just got rid." He said, "Oh, I'm not dead, Dad. I'm rezzing right now. You know, I'm re-rezzing it." All of a sudden, he reappears on the screen again. He's got his gun and he's running back into the game again. So that's what your January 1st is like. Oh, you got to restart. You got to re-res. All right. So you just put on a new skin. I'm speaking Fortnite language right now, Shay. You know, hey, I'm speaking to the millennials right now. All right. You put on a fresh skin. You get back in the game again. So that's what the January 1st is about. You know, you keeping your head up high. And this is not just a lot of hype. Let's be clear. Let's be very, very clear and authentic right here and right now. You see my enthusiasm. Don't mistake my enthusiasm for anything other than genuine truth, because I can only speak to you from places where I've walked. OK, so understand your January 1st is the real deal. All right. I just celebrated a birthday, you know, the other day, and that was my January. That was my Super New Year. OK, Super New Year.
I like that. That was Anthony Abrams' Super New Year. And for the Super New Year, why do we all do this? Why do we all do this? We segue and do this. Everyone look right below the video. Look right below the video and write these words. Just write, "Happy birthday, Anthony Abrams." Just look right below the video. Let's look right below the video. Today is January 1st. Today is January 1st. Gina Hall, I see you. Today is January 1st. Do me a favor. I hear you hitting the reset button, but let's just take a moment. Let's welcome Anthony Abrams to the stage. He's coming up. When he come up next, he's going to be talking to us. Do me a favor. Look right below that video and write these words. Happy birthday, Anthony Abrams. or just put B birthday Abram, or congratulations Anthony, celebrate with Anthony. Let's all just acknowledge him. Let's love on him. Look, God's blessed him for another year. He's here, and he's here to bless you right now. So look right below the video. Look right below the video, and write these words: Happy birthday, Anthony. And as you're doing that, we're going to segue over, and we're going to go over to Kim Martin. We're going to go over to Kim Martin. As we go over to Kim Martin, we're going to come right back. And we come back with Anthony Abrams. Look, you don't want to miss it. I'm going to talk to him about faith, and I'm going to talk to him about family and lessons that he's learned and what's important to him. But as I'm doing that, I see Venus says, happy birthday, Anthony. Cheryl says, happy birthday. No, I'm not singing to the guy. I'm not singing to the brother. I'm not starting the song.
No,
Sade.
I don't hear you sing, Shay. Please don't.
I'm going to play a tune for him. I see you out there. Tina says, happy birthday, Anthony. Gina says, happy birthday. Nicole says, happy birthday, man. Happy birthday to you. I'm glad God allowed you to be here with us and to celebrate with us. You're amazing, man. You're incredible. I'm looking forward to you talking about faith and family. And basically what lessons you've learned that you can share with all of us. We'll be right back. You're watching the Happy Entrepreneur Show. You're here with Anthony Abram on the #1 business development and revenue focused late night show in the country. We'll be right back in just a moment. Dr. Kim Warren Martin, take it away about life lessons.
Hello there, happy entrepreneurs. This is Dr. Kim Warren Martin, founder of Successful and Fulfilled and creator of the hashtag Working on My Sexy movement, bringing you my thought of the week on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. This week's thought is, turn your disappointments into your life lessons. We've all experienced disappointment, and I know this because the #1 reason for disappointment is misaligned expectations. You know, you expected ABC and you got XYZ. Well, disappointment is just an experience. It's how we process that experience that determines whether or not it will become a teacher or a tormentor in our lives. And it's always meant to be a teacher, never a tormentor. But many of us have robbed ourselves of the ability to learn from this teacher because we've not given ourselves permission to pull out the lessons from our mistakes or disappointments, which is a major key to living successful and fulfilled. So, how do you begin to learn from this teacher? Well, here are 4 steps to help you get started. First, you want to acknowledge the disappointment. You literally want to write it down. Don't let anyone tell you to get over it, move on, move past it. You must write it down and acknowledge it. Second, you want to look at that disappointment and consider all of the healthy lessons that you learned from going through that experience. There's gold in the lessons, both for your business and your life. Third, you want to be able to put one, some, or all of those lessons into practice so that you can begin to get some different results when you move forward. And fourth, you will realize as you start to evaluate the results that you are experiencing a revitalization, a refreshing, and even a rebirth from what you had to go through. So those are the 4 steps. Give yourself permission to pull out the lessons from your disappointments. I'm Dr. Kim Warren Martin. That's my thought of the week. Turn your disappointments into your life lessons here on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. Back over to you, Shay.
Love it, Kim. Kim talked about taking your life lessons and taking with the disappointments you learned in life and then turning those into life lessons. You know, Anthony, if we can, let's step back and let's talk a little about faith and family. We'll get to fashion, by the way. But one of the topics that came up, and folks would send me notes and said, are y'all really going to be talking about faith and family? And I said, well, absolutely. That's what you read there. That's what you see. And so I'm going to ask Anthony from a man's perspective. You're right. That's Anthony. He's a family man. And you heard him talk about his son a few moments ago. So Anthony, if you can, step back. And I know the affluent man has a lot of different views of the world. But talk about the importance of having faith as a cornerstone of a foundation for what you have now and why that's important. And then let's transition that over to family. I do want to say hello to Eric Watkins. Thanks a lot for joining, my man. Good to see you. Monica Rogers, it's always a pleasure. Thankful that you could be joining one of the baddest DJs in the country, by the way. She can rock out. Thanks a lot for joining. Just a wonderful person. And you're right. You're here at the right time. Anthony, talk a little about faith. And then we'll transition a little bit over to family. And I know for some of you, it doesn't matter what you believe in, this is Anthony's view of the world. And Anthony, I happen to share the same belief. Anthony, take it away.
Well, I appreciate that, Shay. You know, I want you, first of all, what I want you guys to understand that this is something that I'm really excited about. And I'm excited for the simple fact that it was in, earlier you heard me speak about my lowest point, right? And the greatest thing about the greatest thing, they always say that there's light at the end of the tunnel, okay? And during that darkest point, it was when I realized, I said, hey, I'm a believer. I'll just put that out there. I'm a believer. And when I called on my higher power, I said, show me, show me what is it that I need to do to become a better man? What is it that I need to know that maybe my father didn't teach me and that I hadn't gotten yet? And so I have to say that to kind of preface what was then revealed to me. And I realized that what I began to understand, again, this is my belief. And I want you to just think of this as a re-engineering, nothing different. We're not twisting nothing around, right? So we're taught that we're the head, right? Not the tail. But I want us to re-engineer that thought process when it comes to a man and building a house. And instead of thinking of us as the head, think of us as the foundation. Okay? Now think about this. Whenever they go to build a home or a building or a structure and a big storm comes, right? Storms come. I live in Texas. We always get hurricanes, all right? Hurricanes come through. Let's say a big hurricane comes through and totally destroys that house, wipes it out. What's the first thing that they do? They go in and anyone type in the comments, you tell me, what's the first thing they do when they wipe that out? They go in and they check what? They check the foundation. And if the foundation is solid, what do? They rebuild. They rebuild is what they do. Okay. So I understood. I said, hey, I went through a storm and my structure had been completely destroyed. All right. Destroyed. And on top of that, my foundation was in pieces. I said, God, what is it that I can do? In that moment, it was revealed to me. This is the foundation. And one of the very first pieces of that foundation, it begins with your faith. Now, I said, what? What are you talking about? What do you mean? How do we get that? And I got to understand something. See, there's basically 4 pillars to stand on. And that first one being your faith. And what does faith mean? Faith, you hear that term a lot of times about, and that could be, we're not talking religion, we're talking about a true relationship. So faith is when you begin to get that relationship with the Creator. And I found myself in a space where I had plenty of time to not only reflect upon myself, but build that relationship with my Creator. And begin to understand, and we had conversations. And through those conversations and reading and studying, I began to understand, oh my God, Shay, it was like, oh, wow, I didn't know that. Had I known that, I wouldn't have done this. And had this had happened, I wouldn't have done that. Like, I felt so freaking stupid. I'm just gonna be blunt. I was like, oh, but I had to have a little grace. Give me some grace because I thought I knew it all. I didn't think I knew it all, but I knew there was some pieces missing. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. So begin to understand that the importance of having that relationship, right? And understanding and knowing it for myself. And when I began to read and study the word for myself and dig a little bit deeper and understand there was more than just that these Bible stories that I was taught throughout the years, there was actually some strength and meaning up under there. And there were other things that were inside of there, other, proverbs and other structures that were there. I was like, oh my gosh, this is how you combat. And I understood that. So that was the importance that I began to understand that where faith can play a part in and having that relationship. So so as a result of it, every day, just me personally, being able to get up, have those conversations with God, crack open my Bible app. All right, I'm digital. Okay.
I like that. The Bible app. That's good. That's good. That's good, Anthony. That's good. I love it.
This is real. Okay, I'm gonna crack it. We're gonna hit some buttons and see where it's at, right? And begin to read and begin to study and understand it and relay that versus, where I was being fed from, who my spiritual leader was, and being fed and then reading and studying for myself. And once I began to study for myself, Shay, there's no greater empowerment than the knowledge of self.
Say that one more time.
There's no greater empowerment than the knowledge of self. Okay. And when I began to understand that, okay, there is more to me. And because he began to reveal to me that I am in you. And I understood that. Okay, when I say I am, because he is the great I am. Mm-hmm. So I'm strong because of him. And in that relationship to dive so much deeper, and I'm kind of broad stroking as it right now, but there's so many cases that we're going through the process and going through the motions. Mm-hmm. I felt like, I thought I was doing the right thing because I took my family to church. But many times, if we really want to be completely honest, as men, we take, and this is my opinion, we take our families to church and we put them in front of a leader and say, okay, teach them. And we kind of sit back, okay, and think that we did something. But that's not the case. All right, so I know I'm kind of segueing into the family part. The faith in the family comes next. Family is not just,
And as you get into family, before you get into family, for those folks that are out there that are listening, faith is very important, and Anthony's talking about that. And I see a number of folks that are making comments out there. Cheryl Diane says there's no greater empowerment than the knowledge of self. Someone make that comment. Someone look right below the video. And, Anthony, you were dropping one golden nugget after another golden nugget after another golden nugget. But I was with you. But when I heard those words, there's no greater empowerment than yourself or self. There's no greater empowerment than the knowledge of self, which Kim Lennox just wrote. Edward Womack, you got Edward A. Womack. I think it's A. I hope it's A. Womack that's out there watching right now. With founder of Man Rise Up. Founder of Man Rise Up. He's watching right now. He helped men rise up all over the world. Just a fantastic person. Edward, or Dr. Edward Womack. We got to connect, man. I know he's sharing some messages back and forth, but got to get you on. They may be thinking right now as they're listening, Anthony, as we transition over to family. In your family growing up, and this is something you can answer or not answer, what was the foundation that really helped you be the type of man that you are today? I know in my family, I was born and my mom and dad divorced. Then I had a stepfather. It wasn't the best situation for any kid to be in, so it wasn't a situation that you would want to desire to be in. And then afterwards, one of the things I learned, because my dad was always involved, although he never had a car, he used to take a taxi from Washington, D.C. to Dale City, which is about a 45-minute ride, to pick us up and go back. And I learned the importance every weekend of spending time with him. So when I got married, very similar to you, I went through a divorce, not one time, but two times. But I always stuck to what my dad did, which was he always made a way to come and get us. So many times I would pick my sons up on Fridays, every other Friday, and have them through Sunday. And they might not see me all day Saturday or Sunday because they're with my grandmother, but I'd pick them up on Friday, and then I was off to an event, and I'd come back. And it was for them to know that I was there and present. The question may be asked, I know you're going to transition into family, but tell us a little bit about the backstory and the narrative that laid the foundation for you to be the type of father that you are today, as we talk about the importance of family. And for everyone that's listening right now, for everyone that's watching right now, listen in, and how can you participate? What can you do? Well, you can look right below the video. And maybe share one of your affirmations as it relates to faith and family. Share a mantra that relates to faith and family. Anthony Abron shared his. He shared it earlier. Says there's no greater empowerment than knowledge of self. You might have something, and you don't have to hold it back. I'm going to ask you to put it right below the comments below so someone else can hear your view of the world. Someone else can listen to your mantra. Someone else can say what you say, and that's going to help them. We have some episodes, Anthony, that's all about making the money. And I know that's so true as entrepreneurs. But we say that a happy entrepreneur understands that the results that show up in your life are just as important as the results that show up in your bank account. And how true is that? How important is that? The results that show up in your life are just as important as the results that show up in your bank account. So Anthony, I'm going to turn it over to you, my man, to talk about family and what it means and how you got there. So give us a little bit of a narrative. If you don't mind sharing, you don't have to. I mean, we don't have a script. You didn't give me no list of questions to ask. You said, Shay, I'm here to serve. Shay, I'm here for the people. So that's what's on their mind. They want to know, man. I want to know.
They want to know. Let me tell you something. You know, the thing about it, Shay, I don't mind sharing because I always remember that there were people who left what I call digital breadcrumbs for me. And whenever their video lead you home and lead you to a greater awakening. So I'm grateful for all those people who I hopped on YouTube and I watched, you know, from Stephen Furtick, who I absolutely, you know, love, who's poured into me, to TD Jakes up in the Potter's House in Dallas, the BTG movement. Shout out to those that great couple, that the Better Together movement, who put so many great videos that are out there that help people get through rough parts. So I don't have a problem. I made a promise that I was going to share and leave some digital breadcrumbs for somebody else so they can know. So
I like that. Digital breadcrumbs. I like that. Digital breadcrumbs. Oh, yeah.
I'm just sprinkling it around, man.
That's really good. We're all leaving these digital breadcrumbs as we go through life. Hey, man, that's a good one. That's good. For those folks who are leaving digital breadcrumbs, you know, I'm going to say that, digital breadcrumbs, like Gina, who says, I am healthy, happy, and whole. They're sharing their affirmations. Tina Holland, who put, blessed by the best, no greater love. Malika, who put, one of my most powerful ones I see, I am whole, perfect, and strong. Gina put, I am blessed, empowered, and inspired. Mario put, I didn't know real family until I found faith.
Shout out to my Aunt Dorothy who's watching, my Aunt D, who holds it down.
Aunt D, where's Aunt? So you're doing shout outs around here, man. Where's Aunt D? Tell us where Aunt D is, if you would. Doing a shout out.
Yeah. Now look, my mother was an educator, so she taught me to enunciate my words, but the country come out of me. That's my auntie. That's my Aunt D. She's calling all the way from West Texas, Crane, Texas to be exact. So shout out to Aunt D for watching. Thank you so much for having my back, Aunt D, through the dark times. I love you so much. I'm so grateful for you so much. I love you and the fam. Shout out to y'all. Abron family, the Abron clan is in the house.
You gotta love it, man. You gotta love it. Gotta love it, Anthony. Go ahead and tell us about family and tell us a little about your narrative to how you got to be the person that you are today. I love it, man. Hello, Aunt. What's your auntie's name again?
My Aunt Dorothy. My Aunt Dorothy.
Aunt Dorothy. I'm from Washington D.C. Okay.
I know.
Aunt Dorothy.
You know, it's funny. So my narrative comes from this. So I was raised by a single parent mother. My mother's passed on, God rest her soul, and my father as well. And so for much of my life, you know, I was brought up, you know, by my mother, single parent, and I watched my mother go through many different struggles as a single parent mother. And she did the best that she could. She worked a graveyard shift at MD Anderson, and I spent a lot of time. That's why I'm grateful for my Aunt Dorothy. My Aunt Dorothy allowed me to spend time at her home and in her family, where we're all family, which is my mother's sister, and I got to see that. So not having a father figure, my closest father figure was my Uncle Oliver, which is my aunt's husband. Mm-hmm. And so I watched how this man would go to work and he would come home. I'm sorry, I'm stumbling over my words. We lived out over in the Pasadena area, which is a lot of refineries and whatnot, okay? In that area of Texas. So he go work in the refineries, he come in and he'd kick his boots off at the front door. My auntie always had a big plate, you know, with the big chicken sitting right there in the middle, you know, ready for him. And he'd come in, kick off his shoes, he'd kiss on his family, he'd hug on his wife, and he'd rub on her booty. Yeah, I said it. Okay. And I watched that, And so he was my hero. He is my hero. And so, but he wasn't my father. And so there was always this kind of yearning, even though he loved me, there was this yearning to have my own. And I always wondered where my own dad was. And I didn't really see, my mother was, came from kind of a rough childhood, and I didn't really get a lot of love. So my Aunt Dorothy, and the way she loved on him and always told him there was love, and it was just this awkward thing that I would see. And so I always wanted it. So long story short, I got to a place in my life, I was 30 years old. And I was 30 years old. I was going through some tough times at that time in my young life, and I needed a male figure. I wanted my own personal male figure. And I broke out the yellow pages. I broke out the white pages, and I began to search for my daddy. And that's how I found my daddy. Was I flipped open it and I began to look, and I began to call everybody with the last name. And by God's grace, I found my sister, and she answered the phone and said, "Hold on, and let me get your number. And I believe you found the right place." And she put us in touch. And then my father came into my life at 30 years old. And I'm saying all this to say this: you growing up as a kid and not having a dad there for football practices and basketball to teach you how to, throw a basketball. There were different men in my life that taught me different things. There's a man that taught me, I remember each man specifically that taught me certain things. There was a man named Benny Maddox that taught me how to tie a tie. There was a man named Richard who taught me how to shoot a basketball. That was different men. And so I always had this desire. When my father came back into my life, he apologized. But realized he couldn't go back and fill in that void. So he met me where I was at. And we began to build that bridge from that point on. And we made some vows to one another. He said, "I'm sorry that I did that, but don't you leave your son the way that I left you." And so everything that I do, I'm very passionate. And I had a blended family. I'm very passionate about being in the lives of young black kids, young black boys. Let's be clear, I'm speaking for everyone, but my perspective was coming from as a black child growing up without a father figure. And so it was important for me to be that role model and be there for him. And so when my son came and into my life, I knew from that point I was going to be there. I was going to fight, do whatever I need to do to make sure that I was in his life, and that he knew love and he knew strength from a father. So that's my perspective in a nutshell. What else are you going to ask me?
No, that's a perfect segue. That's a perfect segue. As folks are out there making comments right now, we'll come back and we'll talk about this whole fashion. We'll talk about the affluent man. You summed it up best, which is be there for your family. Be there for your family, no matter who your family is. Some of you have immediate family. Some of you have extended family. Some of you have adopted family. Some of you have blended family. It's okay. At the end of the day, he said what? Be there for your family. I also loved how he shared that we learn lessons from other individuals. Here's what I would like to do. For folks that are writing comments like Brian Heat this out there, Eric Ehrlich, what's going on, my man out there in Florida? He's doing some amazing things with Marriage Can Win. Y'all are in for a treat. Y'all in for a treat. Got to have him and his wife. Don't worry about Eric. His wife, Dr. Sashi, is much better. Much better. You're going to love her. You'll like him too, by the way. Gina Hall put, I love it. His mother taught him to enunciate. How true is that? That is true. Mimi said he loved on his lady. How true is that? They're making comments right now. What I'd like for you to do, and I see Dr. Edward Womack putting salute Brother King Anthony and Shay Brown. He's saluting other folks. That's a good way as we go into a segue. I want you to look right below the video, and I want you to thank someone who's made a difference in your life. Now, maybe you've done it publicly, maybe you've done it privately. Maybe you don't want to mention their name, but just look right below the video and put thank you. For me, it'd be Dr. Kevin, who was out there right now. It doesn't matter who it is for you. Just put thank you below. Anthony acknowledged not one figure, not two figures, but three figures who've given him little nuggets along the way to make him the person that he is today. And how true is that? We are sum total of everyone that we come across with. I love these type of episodes, man. I'm glad that you're here. Glad that you're being so authentic. With that being said, we come back. We're going to talk about fashion. Talk about the affluent man. I mean, who is the affluent man? What does the affluent man represent? And how can the affluent man and the woman and the business owner, entrepreneur, how do they all come together? And what lessons can we take away from them? I can't wait. But until then, stay tuned. We're going to do something special. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. By the way, we will be right back. And now I'm going to share something that's coming up for all the entrepreneurs that are out there that want to join us at the Close Conference, because it's time for you to generate more revenue in your business so you can have the resources to execute the vision you have for all those who you are called to serve. We'll be right back in just a few moments with none other than Anthony Abrams on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. We'll see you in a second. It's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the founder of the Happy Entrepreneur Network and the host of the #1 business development and revenue focused late night show in the country, the Happy Entrepreneur Show. And I'm super excited. I'm over the moon. Just enjoyed to be able to share this special VIP invitation for you to join me at thecloseconference.com. Just look right below the video, and go to closeconference.com, an opportunity for you to attend virtually or in person. Now, who is this for? If you're an entrepreneur, if you're a speaker, if you're a coach, if you're a network marketer, if you're in the personal professional development, or you're just someone right now that is overwhelmed and overworked and you need to generate some qualified leads of people who want to work with you, whether they come from online leads or offline leads, then you need to be there. Or maybe you're someone that wants to, you say, well, Shay, right now I have what's called yo-yo entrepreneur type of revenue, right? Reasons but no results. So it's time for you really to put together your own 7-figure revenue generating infrastructure so you can make more money without your labor. You can take back your time and you can take back your life. Then you want to be there. Or maybe you just want to be able to broadcast just like I'm doing right now. I'm at Broadcastpreneur Studios right here in this set right now, and you need to reach your audience online through the power of those fiber optic lines. Then you need to be at what? Thecloseconference.com. Or maybe it's just time for you to get all the resources you need in your business so you can serve the people you were called to serve and have more meaning in the world, have more impact in the world, and make $1 and a difference at the same time. If that's you, look right below the video, and go to closeconference.com. I promise you'll learn about how to generate unlimited sponsorships. You'll learn about how to tell your story and have more impact. And more importantly, you're going to have more success, more joy, and more happiness in your business. I'm so excited. Look, join me at closeconference.com. Share this with all your friends. I'm looking forward to seeing you. My promise to you is it'll be a good use of your time. My promise to you is that you're going to generate more revenue than you've ever generated before in your life and have more happiness. With that being said, my name, by the way, is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone, and I promise you we'll make some good things how we connect again next time. God bless, and I wish you success. See you soon. See you soon. You're here now at the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue focused late night show in the country. We're speaking to none other than the Anthony Abram, better known as the affluent man. Now, you might be wondering, Shay, where in the LL Cool J did he get this term, the affluent man? Shay, what does the affluent man mean? Well, I'm listening, but I don't know. So let's go over to Anthony. We're talking about fashion, which we're going to get to. Faith, he's got a little thing right there on the side. He got his tie on, by the way. He loosened his tie up just a little bit because y'all done brought out the fire. He said, I'm on fire. He started sweating out there in Austin, Texas, by the way. I'm cool. I got short sleeves on. I'm just kicking back. I'm hanging out with y'all here. But we're going to get into that fashion in just a moment. But Anthony, they keep hearing the affluent man. Can you take a moment and step back and tell us what is the affluent man? How did that affluent man come to be what the term is today? And what does it represent? When people hear the affluent man, what do you want them to feel? What do you want them to think? So go ahead and take it away. Three-part question. Number 1, what is it? Number 2, how did it get to be? How did that come about? And third, well, most importantly, What do you want us to think and feel when we hear the affluent man? And that's everywhere. Hashtag the affluent man.
All right, so great question. What does it mean? The affluent man is this. So when you go and look in the Webster's dictionary, you're going to see it says wealth or money. But underneath it, the subset, it means flow. So the affluence means flow, because I look at myself as a conduit. I'm a conduit for different things in my life. I'm conduit for good. I'm conduit for bad. And before, as I walked in my life, I kind of was an open conduit, so to speak, and I wasn't really mindful of what I was attracting into my life and putting out, even though I lived a positive life per se. But affluence means flow, because we're the flow, all right, in things that are good. So we're going to conduct and be conduits of the flow of good in people's lives. Now, where did it come from? So when you see the affluent man, it's not about money. It's that's the man who flows. That's the flow, all right? Where did it come from? It's a combination of that story I told you about before, as well as being a kid that, it's funny, as being a kid that I had a close friend of mine, a guy named Abron, and we would, in high school, we would spend a lot of time reading this old magazine called The Robb Report. And I don't know if you guys ever remember that, but the Robb Report was the magazine that you could flip through and you could buy airplanes and you could buy islands on. Okay. I had never seen anything like that in my life. Right. And it was the only magazine back at the time where you could see the full purchase price for Lamborghinis, which is like one of my favorite cars. Right.
I hear you on that one.
It's also where I was introduced to the word that I couldn't pronounce at the time, entrepreneur. Okay, and so that's where the affluence began, and I see the term back then and there, and reading that and kind of aspiring to want that. Obviously, when I was younger, I looked at it from a monetary standpoint, but as I got older, that began to shift, and affluence is a mindset. It's a mindset of being able to flow of things that are positive. So if people see it as money and wealth, well, heck, like we said, that's a byproduct of what you create in your life and how it shows up in your life. So that's what affluence is. What I want people to feel when they see it, I don't want them to feel like it's someone that's trying to, a person that's trying to establish themselves as better than you, or a person that is flaunting some wealth or status on that level, because I've actually, my mentors are affluent men. And so when I see a true bona fide affluent man, what they symbolize and what they are is just, they're really powerful men of influence, affluence, and impact. Influence, affluence, and impact. And I say that respectively. And they're good nurturers of their families, they're good nurturers of their community, and they're powerful leaders. And so every time I say it, every time you see the hashtag, every time I say it out of my mouth, I'm speaking it into existence, because I have the power of life and death in my tongue, and so do you that are watching. So you speak, whatever you speak into existence, at some point it's going to get life. You've given it life. So I began to speak affluence at my darkest points, because I knew where I was going, and not to impress, but to impress upon you. In a short period of time, my life does not look anything the way that it used to before. And one of those things I'm most proudest of is I began to see that happen and show up in my life, not only in business, but it also began to show up. All right, we're an entrepreneur show, right? So it began to show up in revenue and profits that are generated, like things happen. It's like, wow, you kept speaking that. Yes, that's who it is. That's how you carry yourself. That's who you are. I tell my son all the time, I call him a king, King Wesley, King Wesley, King Wesley, all the time. I painted on his wall a big, huge W with a crown over it. Why? Because I wanted him to wake up every morning to color. And I wanted him to wake up and understand, son, you are a king. So at some point, when you finish groveling and you come to yourself, you're going to realize you are a king. Get up and walk in that path. And so it's my duty to make sure that that's in position for him. That's what the affluent man means. And that's that.
That's that. He's like, wait a minute. That is that. Shay, where's the clip of that recording? That is that. I just laid out the affluent man. Hands down. For those folks that are watching right now and you feeling Anthony, you're like, Anthony, I feel you. I want to holler at you. Look right below the video right now. Look right below the video and just put up the bat signal. Just put hashtag the affluent man. Hashtag the affluent man. And that's just a bat signal. That's just the inner circle thought that we're putting out there into the universe that, you know what, you can be the affluent man, you can be the affluent woman. It can happen. Today is not about man or female or male or female. It's about the concept. It's about the idea. It's about the belief system. It's about the core values that he holds near and dear to him that he's passing on to other folks. Do me a favor right now as you're out there. What's up, James Price, my man? We got to connect. Look right below the video and write these words right now. Hashtag the affluent man. Hashtag the affluent man. Hashtag the affluent man. If you believe that it's about you having impact, then put hashtag the affluent man. If you believe it's about having influence in the lives of others so they can serve so big, look right below the video and write what? What should they write? Hashtag what, Anthony?
The affluent man.
If you believe that this is your year, this is your time, you are ready to step up to a whole nother level, they should do what, Anthony? Hashtag what?
The affluent man.
Yeah. It's and those folks that are out there, look, the reason I actually put hashtag the affluent man, because this is all about collaboration. And you may see those words below and say, you know what?
I zoned off. You got to give me, hold on. We're going to be real with the people. You were talking, I'm looking at people's stuff right here, and so I caught half of it. I'm not narcissistic. Let's be very clear. I didn't understand. I'm trying to respond to people.
You can't respond, man. You gotta be here with me. We're here. That's like delayed stuff. Yes, we'll go acknowledge everyone right now because I know you want to acknowledge people who are putting hashtag the affluent man. But I want to make sure when they go back and they pass this on, and someone's listening to the podcast, someone's listening to the recording, someone listening to the conference call, you've syndicated this out to many other folks out there right now, that when they hear the word hashtag affluent man, it means that I am on what? Fire. I am on what?
Fire.
That's right. I am on fire. So you look right below the video and don't do it for yourself. You do it for someone else. Now, Anthony, now you can go below and you can acknowledge folks who are stepping up and putting hashtag the affluent man. And when they put that down, I want you to hit the like button. I want you to hit the heart button. I want you to encourage them. Don't worry, we're going to come back and Anthony's going to talk about fashion. He's going to talk about some finances, but he only got so much time, okay? But I want you to walk away with hashtag the affluent man represents who I am and my values. Anthony, look right below the video, look right below the video, and let's acknowledge those folks who put hashtag the affluent man.
All right. Well, we scrolled through here. Wow. First of all, thank you guys. So many of you are watching and sharing with your friends and having watch parties. Those of you having watch parties, we appreciate you so much. Thank you. Tina Holman, hashtag the affluent man. Gina Hall, hashtag the affluent man. Cheryl Dinan, hashtag the affluent man. Malika Courtney, hashtag the affluent man. Thomas Christopher Jackson L, hashtag the affluent man. Michael Muse, the fearless coach. Y'all need to follow the fearless coach because that man is absolutely amazing. He is doing great things. Appreciate you. Hashtag the affluent man. Herman Braid II. Oh man, good to see you on there. Hashtag the affluent man. Womack, Edward A. Womack, Dr. Womack. This man sent me an autographed copy of his book, Back from Broken. Y'all go out and cop that book, Back from Broken. Dr. Ed Womack, put the link in there to your Amazon so people can pick up that book for you. Because we are here. What do we believe? What is that? So 1 + 1 = 1. But right. But when you put in this particular mindset in the Black CEO, 1 + 1 = what? 11. Yeah. 11. Okay. So we support each other.
That's close enough for government work, man. That is close enough for government work. You're doing good.
That's government work. James Prince, hashtag the Affluent Man. Nicole, hashtag the Affluent Man. I'm a conduit. Yes, ma'am. As you can see, we're just having a good time. I'm excited to be here. Thank you guys so much for taking time during your busy schedules at late at night where you will be asleep. We're better than what's on television. We're better than what's on television.
It depends on where they are. Depends on where they are. For some folks, they're just waking up, Anthony. For some folks, they're over in Australia. For some folks, are like Sheila Reynolds. They're in Germany. Some folks are in South Africa. So don't worry about what time it is. You be present. I love what Jim Rohn said. Wherever you are, be there. Wherever you are, be there. Anthony, I'm just keeping it real. Anthony's in Austin, Texas. He's like, it's late to Austin, Texas. Shay on the East Coast is late. I don't care what you say. That's why this is the late night show. Come on, somebody, holla at your boy. Dorothy Brown said, hashtag the Affluent Man. She's out there right now. I'm loving what y'all doing. When we come back, we're going to talk to Anthony about this whole fashion thing and what it means, because it's not just about him, but it's about what it represents. And we're coming down the home stretch. The guy's in overtime, man. He's just hanging out, man. I appreciate all the time that he's given us. We're going to go over to none other than Anisha right now. Anisha's over in Las Vegas, a fantastic, wonderful woman. And she'll talk about plan, prepare, push. Plan, prepare, push. Oh, it's amazing. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere, because we come back on the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue-focused late night show in the country. We'll be speaking to none other than the affluent man himself. There he is. There he is. He's chilling out. Anthony Abron. We'll see you in just a moment.
So hey, my name is Anisha Garrett from Elise & Co. And I'm super excited to be here with you guys in the Happy Entrepreneur Tribe. Now, today is my January 1st, and that means so much to me, you guys, because I approach every day with that same enthusiasm that too many of us reserve for the first of the year. So how do I do that? I have a little system that I use. It's called Plan, Prepare, and Push. And it just helps me stay focused. I'm busy, just like you guys. I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I have my business. There's a lot going on, and I know you can totally relate to that. So the system works like this. You've got to plan, and planning just gives you clarity. Clarity is the best gift you can give yourself. So whether it's a big goal or a little goal, you got to know exactly what that is. So now you can start to get prepared. That's when you're putting it on your calendar. You're getting the resources that you need to do it. And then once you're planned, you prepared, you're clear, you get to push. Now that's when we jump back to that January 1st mentality, because I want you to do it with the biggest enthusiasm. I want you to be excited that you get another chance at this. So today is your January 1st. Today is my January 1st. Every day can be your January 1st, because you get the opportunity to wake up and get at it again. So I can't wait to see what you guys do here in the Happy Entrepreneur Tribe. I know you guys are the ones who take action. You take action on your ideas. You take action to get closer to your goals, because every day is your January 1st. So I'm going to see you doing that with great enthusiasm. That's not reserved for the first of the year. We are going at it, and we are getting in it. So remember, plan, prepare, and push. Until I talk to you guys again, make it an amazing day. Make it an amazing week. And I can't wait to see you guys checking off all of those things on your to-do list that are going to get you one step closer to accomplishing your goals.
I like it, Anthony. One step closer to accomplishing your goals. Plan, prepare, push. Plan, prepare, push. You know, you do have to plan. You do have to prepare. At the end of the day, you do have to take action, because the universe rewards people who take action really differently than those that don't. And at the end of the day, isn't it all about action? Isn't it all about action? You may have heard this before, but it's so true. You've heard that consistency is the key. Consistency is the key. Consistency is the key. And having said that, what do most people struggle with?
Consistency.
Yeah, consistency. And that's not you any longer. You are consistent. And you've said so many affirmations. You said so many positive things. And Anthony's laying just a blueprint for you. But what good is the blueprint if you don't take any action? So do me a favor. Just look right below the video right now. Look right below the video and write these words. I am consistent. Hashtag serve so big. Just put this down. I am consistent. Hashtag serve so big. I am consistent at serving other folks. I am consistent at taking care of myself. I am consistent at showing up in my business. I am consistent in supporting my family. I am consistent. And even if you don't believe you're consistent, even if you don't believe it, you're thinking to yourself, Shay, you don't understand. That's not me. I've tried to be consistent before. I've tried this thing. Even if that's not you, I want you to tell yourself right now, every morning when you wake up, and you might even put a little sticker. Maybe you put this on a sticky. Maybe somebody's going to put this on your phone. Tell yourself this: Shay Brown holds the belief for me. Because I'm going to hold the belief for you until you believe it yourself. Because sometimes you need someone else to believe in you before you believe in yourself. Let me give you an example. My coach 15 years ago told me I would be one of the top 5 sales trainers of my generation. I didn't believe it. I don't even like sales. Why would I do that? That's the craziest thing I've ever heard, by the way. You couldn't have told me that, but he believed it. Mother Dear was the only one that said, no, you're number one now. No, Mother Dear, I'm not number one now. No, you're number one in my books. And that gave me just a little spark that I needed. So the reason I'm asking you to write the words, I am consistent, and make that public declaration right below. Here's why. Here's the principle. We'll often do more for others than we'll do for ourselves. So just the fact that you wrote those words, I am consistent, it doesn't mean you're going to do it. It just means you're more likely to do it. Now, statistically speaking, all of you can't do it. It's not going to happen. But here's the good news. You can. No, here's the good news. You will. Here's the good news. I am, that's you, consistent. And I want you to pick one area that you want to be consistent in right now in your life. I'm going to pick an area, and then I'll ask Anthony to be open. And he said I can ask him any question, by the way. So we're going to find out about him too. What area you want to be consistent in? Now, for me, it's writing in my 5-minute journal. I know I've said this so many times on the show. I'm on track and then I'm off track. I get it, on track and then I'm off track. But actually this year, I think I've done it like 120 days. That's not bad so far. So I'm doing pretty decent, but it's not every day. And so I tell myself, the reason I like to write in my 5-minute journal, and I want to be more consistent. And I'm speaking to me, and maybe this doesn't even resonate with you. Maybe you want to do something else, that's fine. But you write those words, I am consistent. You don't have to publicly declare what you're going to be consistent at, but I am. And what I found out is that 5-minute journal is something that comes with the iPhone, right? And it's just an app, and you can get it, I'm sure, on Android. And inside the 5-minute journal, they ask you 3 questions in the morning. And they ask you, I am grateful for ... You list 3 things you're grateful for. And then below that, you put, what are 3 things you're going to do to make that day amazing? And then at the end of the day, it asks you, what was amazing for you today? And just when I take those time and write that down in the morning, I find out that I'm not grateful that I was talking to all of you, although I am. I'm grateful that all of you have shared with other folks. I'm grateful for the connections you make. I'm grateful for the small things. I'm grateful for having a conversation with my son riding to the airport at 5 o'clock in the morning because he agreed to take me to the airport. And I could have this 15-minute conversation for him. It's the small things when I go back. And I like the 5-minute journal because it allows me to put a picture inside of it. So you can upload a picture, you can take a photo. So I'm capturing time in my thoughts. And it's my belief that the greatest legacy that I'll leave behind won't be the insurance policies, although I'm sure they're going to cash those suckers in. Let me stop. That's not, let me be serious. Let me be serious for a moment, Anthony. It's not the insurance policies, although I want y'all to enjoy those. If you ever go back and watch this video and I'm not around, by the way, I want you to enjoy those insurance policies, have fun. But I believe that truly it is the video content that we leave, because that's digital breadcrumbs, as Anthony talked about, that will forever be around. And it's also the journal that I will leave behind. And that journal I'm putting in my will is never to be sold. And so I'm doing my best to capture those moments, because I always wish I had that from my dad. I really do. My dad's no longer with us, passed away May 2nd, 2017. I get it. I still miss him, but I always wish I can go back and like, what was he thinking? What was he going through? And I can't do that. I got to go on the memories. So I said, no, that won't be my son. That won't happen to him. So I am consistent in writing in my journal. That's what I'm going to be consistent at. I'm going to go with Anthony, and I'm going to ask Anthony, what is he going to be consistent at? And as he's doing it, this is not about Anthony and I. I want you to be thinking right now. I want you to write down to yourself, I am consistent at what? Don't try to do everything. Pick one thing. Anthony, what are you going to be consistent at, my man?
So I'm going to be consistent at putting out more videos on my YouTube channel, more videos of inspiration. That is something that I've been lacking on, I want to make sure that I'm really driven in that area. So consistent in putting out quality videos, digital breadcrumbs to my audience and to out into the interest space out there, so that it can be a ray of hope for someone out there. So that's where I really want to be the most consistent in that space, and putting out quality content for others to come back and be able to glean off of in the future. So that's my biggest place.
I like that, by the way. And I want to acknowledge some folks who said, by the way, that they're going to be consistent, by the way. Thomas says, I am consistent. Mimi says, I want to be more consistent with turning in my business schoolwork. Cheryl said, I am consistent. James Price, what's up, James Price, man? I know we got to connect, man. We keep missing each other. Says, I am consistent. I believe him. He's doing some amazing things, by the way. Kim Lennox says, I am consistent. Malik Courtney says, I am consistent. Edward A. Womack said, I am consistent. Hashtag serve so big. It's all about being consistent. It's about the consistency in whatever is most important to you, even if you have fear. Even if this fear is kind of like, gosh, I feel pressure. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We come back. Don't worry. We're going to come right back. We'll come right back. The best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. Anthony Abron is going to talk about fashion, and then we're going to talk a little bit about his vision for where he sees not only himself going, but the affluent man going. And then we'll bring it on down the home stretch. Let's go over to Dr. Shayna Lewis. She's going to talk to us a little bit about overcoming that fear, because as I was saying, I am consistent. I am consistent. I am consistent. Some of you said, whoo, like Dorothy Brown put, I am consistent, sharing my time and my love. There's still a little doubt. There might be a little fear there. Let's go hear what Dr. Shayna Lewis has to say, and we'll come back with none other than the one, the only, the man himself. No, the hashtag, the affluent man himself, the man that's on fire, Anthony Abrams. I can't wait, and trust me, you can't wait either. We'll be right back.
Hey family, this is your girl, Dr. Shayna, and founder of Your Extraordinary Life Network. And today is my January 1st. I'm so happy to share the thought of the day with the Happy Entrepreneur Tribe. Now, my thought actually comes in the form of a question. What would you do if you were not afraid? Now, what I know is that fear is a very debilitating emotion. It's something that can paralyze us and keep us from moving forward at all. But what you gotta understand is that your superpower is facing the things that you're afraid of and not allowing those things to stop you in your tracks. I want you to ask yourself tonight, what are you afraid of? What question have you been afraid to ask? What place have you been afraid to go? What investment have you been afraid to make in yourself? What thing have you been afraid to do? And instead of sitting in fear, I'm encouraging you to walk in courage and do the thing that you've been so afraid of. You see, your superpower is actually facing the thing you're afraid of. It is. Instead of deciding to allow fear to run you, you look fear in the face and you say, I will not allow you to decide for me. I tell you what to do. You don't get to tell me what to do. So ask the question tonight, family. What would I do if I was not afraid? And whatever your answer is, that's the thing that you must go do. You must do it. You must walk in it and do it in courage. And that will move you forward to that extraordinary life, the one that you are so well deserving of. Now here's to your extraordinary life. Until next time.
Until next time. And one of the reasons I put that up there, Anthony, one of the reasons I wanted to share that message that she had is that earlier today, and for those that follow Anthony around, he was doing this broadcast, and I was watching it because I'm like all of you. I love watching everyday people who have real problems. They have real challenges. They talk real talk, and I get a chance to learn and hear. So I'm watching Anthony, and he said something that just blew my mind. It just like, I was like, no, he couldn't have said that. This had to be disruptive. Like, this can't be possibly that guy, right? And I think I'm a high introvert. I can't possibly think him being a loss for words. But no, right there on the video, you can go to his page, it's there. He said, hey, I'm struggling today with talking to you guys about a video. I'm like, how can you be struggling to talk to us and you're doing it, right? Like, is that like an oxymoron? Is that even possible? But it was so true. But the guy was just so authentic. And so I think it's best as we come down to the stretch to talk to Anthony about how do you overcome those fears that you have. And then, Anthony, talk a little bit about that, and then how you got into this fashion part that you have going on. And then we'll go ahead and bring it down the home stretch. But for all of our digital note takers, for everyone who's watching, for everyone that's out there, do me a favor. Let's give Anthony Abron, the affluent man, a digital applause. A digital applause. Now, how do you give him a digital applause? How do you say thank you if you're hearing it for the very first time? How do you acknowledge him for who he is and what he does? You look right below the video. You look right below the video and you write something like, thank you, Anthony Abron. Or we appreciate you, Anthony Abron. Or thanks, Anthony, for showing up. Yeah, Anthony, we know you can always make more time, Anthony. You can always make more time, but you can't make more money. I mean, you can always make more money. You can always make more money, but you can't make more time. Where did I get that from? You can always make more money, but you can't make more time. So he's here. So what am I asking you to do? Shay, what are you asking me to do? I'm asking you to look right below the video and show some appreciation. Thank you, Anthony. We appreciate you, Anthony. I got a golden nugget, Anthony. You're awesome, Anthony. You're amazing, Anthony. Keep on going. Let's acknowledge Anthony for the time, for the expertise, for the experience that he shared with us. He didn't ask me for a cash app before he started. He said, I'll be there anyway. He didn't ask me to send a credit card. He didn't ask me for a wire transfer. There was no Zelle payment necessary. He said, Shay, I'm there for one reason and one reason only, and that is to serve and to contribute to the Happy Entrepreneur Tribe, because I believe in the mission. I believe in the goals, and I want to do my part. And for that, Anthony, I say thank you. I say I acknowledge you, man. I want to let you know you're amazing. You're just an incredible human being. And we appreciate all that you're doing in the world for hashtag the affluent man. As I'm saying that right now, and don't forget, I know you're going to talk about overcoming fear. We got Cheryl that says, Anthony, I really appreciate you. James Price is on and says, thank you so much, Anthony. I appreciate you, brother. He's out there, by the way. Thomas says, thank you for the invite. Mimi says, you're awesome, Mr. Anthony Abron. They're listening now. They're watching right now. Nicole Brown says, thanks for your transparency and wisdom. Somebody said wisdom. Shucky. That's good. That's good. You got some wisdom, my man, brother. You got some wisdom. You reached that age of wisdom over there.
Hey.
Gina Hall says, thank you for being authentic. You are on fire. Hashtag the affluent man. Just an amazing individual. Incredible once again. Thanks a lot, man. We appreciate you. We're coming down the home stretch. But if you can, Malika said, thank you, Anthony. Appreciate you. Your time and your wisdom. Someone started a trend, man. He's going to be using that. Time and wisdom. That's me.
Every
time
good
and
night
wisdom
has its dents.
I love it. So talk to me, man, about overcoming fear, and then how did you get into this whole fashion thing, man? Because I admire it. I follow him on Instagram. If you don't follow him on Instagram, follow him on Instagram. Follow him on Facebook. You can easily find him. But the fashion and what he puts out, it's like, whoa. He needs to talk to me and Trevor, man. I need to get the hookup, man. What's going on? Get me a cool jacket like that.
Or
the bow tie.
A fun fit.
I wonder if he's gonna have the wooden bow tie tonight. I think he might have the wooden bow tie tonight. He has these bow ties that are just amazing, but he had to change up for y'all. He had to change up a little bit. Take it away, man.
Hey, by my own admission, I was about 2-3 years ahead with that one. So
you were.
But when it comes to fear, I always say, love God, live fearless, and be free. Mm-hmm. And that is my mantra. I'm going to say that again. Love God, live fearless, and be free. Now, how did I come across that? I came across that because I had to go through something, an event years ago where I had to go and speak for a group of men. They picked me out of the crowd of all people to go and speak to the big bosses, right? Mm-hmm. And when I walked out of there, we got like a $2 an hour raise, so it was crazy. And that phrase hit me, but it always stuck with me, because I realized that in order to do great things, you're going to have to face the fear. Mm-hmm. And in order to face your fear, your destiny is on the other side of that. And I'm reminded of the story of David and Goliath, and how David, was put in a situation where he had to knock out this giant. And of course, I'm sure he had some type of animosity, some type of anxiety, shall I say. Mm-hmm. But he went and did it anyway. He was bold enough to step up and face that challenge, and people mocked him. So I always admired that, that strength to overcome. And we all know how that ended, right? Mm-hmm. If you don't, look it up. So, but fear. I've always said that when I overcame that thing, there was a sense of of fearlessness that hey, I can do this. I'm able to do it. So I've always kind of walked with that. Even though sometimes you may catch me with my knees trembling, inside of my mind, I'm telling myself, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it. And it's that repetitive thought process. Facing fear is a process. You're going to have to do it at some point. You're going to have to face that. And when whenever you get, I always tell my son or people closest to me that I mentor, whenever you feel that those butterflies in your stomach, that's usually the time you need to push through. Because usually there's something on the other side of that. So face that fear, do it anyway, and watch what happens.
I love it, man. I love how you said that. I love how you brought that down the home stretch. That was perfect. Talk a little about this whole fashion thing. How did you get into this fashion world?
Yeah, so it's kind of like, again, it all goes back to that childhood, not having a lot, getting mocked in school about having, certain clothes or whatnot. So I would dream about clothes and I would put stuff together. Believe it or not, I used to have a head full of hair. I used to want that El DeBarge hair, man. I used to want that. I know I'm dating myself, man, but hey, I used to want to come into school wearing that. So I always watched and paid attention. And there was this book I used to get back in the day called The International Mail. And it would come in the mail and I watched it. So, but long story short, about 20 years ago or so, I was a manager of a large retail. I was a manager of a large retail men's chain, and I was kind of brought up in that era of putting clothes together. So it kind of began my career of being an executive style advisor to a lot of affluent men and men in C-suite, C-level executives and businessmen and prominent positions. So I I had a good eye and a gift for that. And so I would make them, so that's kind of how it started back then. And it kind of transpired into, as life would have it, went through different transitions. And I found myself kind of back at that same space again. To put it short, I got a job in the position right back in that again. So me being the entrepreneur that I am, I can't just have a job, right? I got to turn my job into my business. And so I had to, so I took that same mentality and that same approach to it and thrust it to a whole nother level. And it became super, super successful. As a result, again, not to impress you, but to impress upon you, I've again been able to establish myself and have a client list of individuals from basically, with the exception of, well, I count my son as hockey, but all your major major sports, NBA, NFL, and NBA, NBA, Major League Baseball, to several top level executives around the Austin area and across the world, suiting those guys, and they like the way I put them together. And the greatest opportunity that I love about that is that not only can I get the opportunity to suit men, but I get to speak life into men when they step into my mirror, and I get the opportunity to serve them. So it's been a huge blessing for me.
Wow, what a blessing. With that being said, you're talking to none other than the Fluent Man himself, Anthony Abron, and you heard what he's done. We come back, we're going to close out. I'm going to ask Anthony to have his closing remarks to encourage, to inspire, and uplift us as we go out there and do what we do best as entrepreneurs, make a difference in the world. We'll be right back in just a moment. We're going to go hear none other than Rob Howes. I don't know if you met Rob Howes before, but he creates music. Interesting guy. He was on the show. He's here in Maryland, does his own little beats and so forth. Just an interesting guy. Let's see what he has to say. And we come back, Anthony's going to bring it down the home stretch. He's going to share with us his closing remarks, his final thoughts. We'll be right back in just a moment.
I was born to win. Before my physical body was delivered to the earth, winning was formulated in my DNA. Winning is a mindset, which becomes an attitude and eventually becomes a lifestyle. Do you want to win today? I was born to win. Do you believe you can win today? See, belief is the beginning of reality. Whatever you believe, you can achieve. So if you can't see it, you can't be it. I was born to win. These are the words you must tell yourself. Convince yourself, empower yourself to create your best self ever. I was born to win. Remember that the next time somebody tries to tell you you're not good enough. Remember that the next time self-doubt creeps in to convince you of the lies that you don't have what it takes. The only thing standing between you and your life's victory is you. I was born to win. The only person that can stop you from succeeding is you. God has created you a king, a queen. Now go and take control of your land. Go and claim your throne. Go and remember every piece of what you were created to be is victorious. I was born to win. You see, fear is false. Fear is false. Keep telling yourself fear is false. False evidence appearing real. Don't let what really isn't there stop you from obtaining what really is. Fear is false evidence appearing real. I was born to win.
I love that, Anthony. I was born to win. I was born to win. I was born to win. It's one of my favorite parts of that hook of the song. I was born to win. And I can do this. I got this. And that is you. Anthony, let me say first from the bottom of my heart, man, I appreciate you. A number of folks are writing right now, and I was born to win. I see you, Kim Lennox. I see you, Dorothy Brown. I see you out there, Gina Hall. I was born to win. And you're consistent. You're going to make it happen. Anthony, once again, let me say thanks a lot, man. Let me thank you for your support. I got a chance to meet you about, I think, 4 or 5 years ago. I think the first time was at the Allison Bird event in San Antonio, Texas, right downtown on the Riverwalk. If you've never been to the Riverwalk, it's got to be one of the wonders of the world. It just truly is. It's walking along the path, being down there. But most importantly, it was hanging out with Anthony. And the guy you see there now is the same guy that I met 4 or 5 years ago. A lot smarter, a lot wiser, a lot brighter, obviously. But the heart is still there. Hey.
No, I meant in my weight.
Oh, your weight. Oh my gosh. I love it, man. I love it. You are just hilarious. So let me say thank you on behalf of the Happy Entrepreneur Tribe. Thank you for participating. What you don't know is that, yeah, Anthony shows up to teach, but he also shows up to be taught. And there's been many times that he's been on the other side, just like me, learning from other folks. You know, when the question is asked, when do you stop learning? You know what the obvious answer is? You never stop learning. Because once you learn something, you need the because frame. Once you learn something, you never unlearn it. And isn't that so true? Isn't that just so true? So Anthony, thanks a lot, man. We appreciate you. I want to turn the final thoughts over to you as you share your thoughts of encouragement, your words of wisdom for the entrepreneurs that are out there right now. And when they leave here, we know what it's like. For many of them, they work full-time jobs, but they come home and they're full-time entrepreneurs. They take care of their family full-time. They work in their community full-time. They serve their church full-time. For others, they're full-time entrepreneurs and still full-time families. So they've got a life. They've got so much going on. What do you have to say to them? And again, let me just say thank you, my man. Thank you, my man. Thank you. We appreciate you. Looking forward to having you back. I know we had talked before and your schedule opens up. I want you and asking if you, one, come back, but two, if you contribute your thought of the week, your thought of the day. I know you're busy, but sometimes I love to share that with the community and pay that message forward to other folks. Is that something, one, if it works for your schedule, you can do, where you are able to share that for our Monday Momentums? That's what we call it, Momentum Monday. And sometimes I'm able to play it throughout the week. And then secondly, will you come back, my man? Over to you.
So the answer to both of those questions is emphatically yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, I will create the weekly videos. Mm-hmm. Absolutely, I'll do that. It'd be an honor. Mm-hmm. And absolutely, it'd be an honor to come back and grace your show again. So thank you so much, Shay.
Mm-hmm. And now your final comments, man. What are your final comments with the folks?
Well, I want to tell you guys this. And everything that I teach, like I said, everything that I share from experiences. If it's a meme that I post, it's because I walked through it. It's nothing, it's not hype. It's not something I read inside of a book. It's something that I lived and I walked through. So I wanted to tell you that. So the transparency comes from my authenticity. because I want you to know that you too can make it. The thing earlier today, one of the things I love, one of my guilty pleasures is cookies. Like I like cookies, oatmeal raisin cookies. I like that. So I had a really great cheat today. Okay, and I would have had this cookie today, and I bit into this cookie. It was so moist. It was so sweet. It was just the smell was beautiful. And I had the opportunity to speak to the chef, that the baker that baked it. And what they told me was, they said, Anthony, these cookies, a lot of love goes into these cookies. A lot of hard work and sweat goes into these cookies. But the thing that you're tasting didn't always begin that way. You see, it was made up of different ingredients. One of those ingredients is salt. Salt by itself is bitter. Have too much salt, make you wither up. Then there's baking powder. If you ever tasted baking powder, it's just blah. It's nothing there. Okay. If you had eggs, raw eggs, the eggs raw by themselves, no one wants to eat a raw egg unless it's scrambled to separate the egg whites, right? All right. But when you put all those components together, all those seasonings together, your life is full of seasons. And some of those seasons are good. Some of those seasons are sweet. Some of those seasons are bitter. Now, having been a person who experienced all those seasons, when they're mixed all up together, it makes one of the most succulent cookies, or shall I say digital breadcrumbs, that people can eat up and give you life to. Understand, whatever season that you're in, whether it's sweet or it's bitter, understand it's all part of a bigger ingredient. It's part of a bigger batter. All right. And you're going to make a fantastic cookie. You're going to make a fantastic cake. You're going to make something that's beautiful. And I mean that sincerely from the bottom of my heart. Understand that you're going to be able to walk through this. Now, as we spoke tonight, we talked about two of the pillars. We didn't talk about the other two, which is finances and fitness. And I encourage you to, if you want to know more about that, we'll share that later. But most importantly, stay focused, keep walking. As someone once told me, keep breathing. As long as you get up, you get that reset button, just like my son does on Fortnite. You get to re-up and play it again. All right. You get to come again. The beauty of it is, and I will say this in closing, all those ingredients, you have the opportunity. When we talk about fashion is the opportunity for you to reinvent yourself. Fashion is the opportunity to express to the world how you feel on the inside. When you see me in this garb, I'm telling you how I feel on the inside. This is my armor. This is the armor that I set up. I've got on the armor to tell the world how you to treat me and how you should treat me and how I'm going to treat you. Before I open my mouth, I want you to take the time and make sure that you present your best self to the world. Your best self. Take the affluent man affirmation, take the affluent man and make it yours. Trust and believe. It's a movement. It is happening. It is happening. And when you walk out there, know that what you speak will give life. It will come to life one day. That's what I have to say. As always, I leave you with this. Sow good seeds. Do good work. Reap, then teach to repeat. My name is Anthony Abron, Diana Abron's baby boy. Thank you guys for having me.
With that being said, it's been an honor and a privilege to every single one of you. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for posting your notes. You're all amazing. You're all just super incredible. And you've been listening to none other than the Anthony Abron on the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue focused late night show in the country. And my name, for those folks that are hearing for the first time, my name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. And I promise you, from the bottom of my heart, I promise you, we'll make some good things happen. We connect again next time. God bless, and I wish you all success. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye for now.
Go ahead and give a big standing ovation for the one and the only Shay Brown.
I'm here right now in this moment with none other than the one and only Dr. Willie Jolly. What's up, my friend?
It's a privilege and a pleasure and a treat and a treasure to be in your presence.
All right, Delator, we're going to get started. You ready, Delator?
I'm ready, friend.
You ready, Dr. Canet?
Ready,
You
ready.
got none other than Andy Henriquez, and we have someone like a Dr. Sonia who's a bad sister. All right, now go ahead with your bad self. None other than the Kim Warren Martin. That's the promise I made to my mom. I only did this message for one person, and that's my mom. This is for you, Mom. Love you. My name is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Shay Brown. Mic check, mic check.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
Yes. Yeah.
And they stay there, and they stay there.